I feel like I should be heading to the beach, but the weather outside tells me otherwise. I'm excited to share my testimony and how God's moved in my life, and ultimately what leads me to be standing up here today in preparation for my baptism. For those who don't know me, my name is Matt Romano, and I grew up in a pretty normal household, living a pretty normal life. Like many people from my area, I was brought up in the Roman Catholic Church, and I went through all the motions with it. I got baptized when I was a baby, did my first communion, made my confirmation, and like many young adults graduating from church, I had really no interest in attending once I completed all those steps. Honestly, I was quite relieved too. Church was pretty boring. It felt like a chore, just something my family and I made sure we crossed off the list every week. Even during church, all I could think about is how I couldn't wait to get out and run over to my papa's house and rummage through one of the many candy bowls to get my morning sugar fix. Like I said, my upbringing was pretty conventional. I recall nothing but good times growing up, maybe short of being bullied by my brother from time to time. Otherwise, we were very family-oriented, always went on multiple camping trips each summer, enjoyed dinner together most nights, and overall, we're pretty privileged. As a young adult, I struggled with a lot of depression and anxiety. I turned to marijuana use as my way of coping with that. Deep down, I knew it wasn't actually helping with my issues, but I had a really tough time turning from it. I went through many phases in and out of turning to the things of this world to try and find fulfillment. Between the marijuana use, promiscuous activity, pornography, chasing money, it was evident time and time again that these worldly things ultimately made me more depressed, more anxious, and drew me further and further away from God. In 2019, I had undergone a lot of changes in my life. I had quit my job of 10 years as an auto mechanic to pursue my goals in real estate. My girlfriend and I had broken up, which I had a very hard time with. So the tail end of 2019 was certainly a mix of emotions. Between the excitement of a new career, getting over an ex, and then just around the corner, the COVID pandemic. During the COVID lockdown, I found myself searching a lot, trying to figure out my purpose in life. I was over my ex at this point. I was working a job that I absolutely loved, but for some reason, I still felt empty inside. I'd been feeling really lonely and defeated, and decided it was time to go back to church. Once I got back into church and spent time in God's Word, it became so clear to me that I had no option but to follow Jesus. I'm a sinful man, yet he who was sinless died for me. A few weeks after making my commitment to follow the Lord, I had a meeting scheduled with some new clients, a young couple from the Midwest, the Pouchers. And in chatting with them over a FaceTime call, of course, one of my obvious questions was, why Rhode Island? When they told me they were moving out here as part of a church plant, I'd never been more excited to help a new client. No offense to any of my other clients. Since meeting all of the awesome people who moved 1,300 miles from the cornfields to plant this very church, I'd never met a group of people who cared so much about me, a group of people who were so committed to following Jesus and sharing the gospel. Now, don't get me wrong, even since walking with the Lord, my life is far from perfect. As a matter of fact, it's a roller coaster, but I can rest assured that Jesus is on that roller coaster with me through all the ups and downs. Since giving my life to Jesus, my struggles aren't my struggles anymore. I don't have to do life alone, knowing that he is with me. My sins have been forgiven from the simple grace offered through Jesus Christ. I just thank the Lord for constantly pursuing me, even when I was putting him on the back burner. I thank Jesus for the work he did for us on the cross, paying for our sins so that we don't have to suffer. Let's do this.